All right, today we'll be doing lab 8-1. So today we are actually on our Google Drive, which is a free account that you can get through Google. And we're on Google Sheets right here. And what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into, where do we have it? One moment. All right, so we can see here we named it XBRL Common, and we actually want to go to extensions here and this app script right here. And that'll take us over to our app script here, which we will be able to put our function into right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take y'all out of the typing to show our kind of function. All right, so as you can see here, we kind of have, it's a lot of typing in here. We just take it out of the textbook and copy it into here. Then we're going to go ahead and save this, and we're going to title it XBRL. Oop. All right. All right. And so now that we have this saved up here, we can go ahead and close this out. And then we're back on our Google Sheets page. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to refresh it because, and then it should show up here. It will take quite some time, so I'm going to go ahead and take a lot of that wait. All right, and now we see we have it up here. So we didn't have it before, but now we do. So there we go. And now what we're going to do now is type in some facts and to get some stuff about Apple. Now we go ahead and take a lot of the typing. All right, so here's our formula here. So what we're trying to do with this formula here is we're going to be pulling the current assets for Apple for the year of 2017. And so if we have everything written out here and we press enter. And there we go. So now we have the Apple's current assets for the year of 2017. And so it's just kind of, we have to make sure that we have it in quotation marks. That way that it will read correctly with the XBRL. All right, so now that we know that our XBRL is working and that we're pulling the correct information, we're going to go and delete this. And we're going to go ahead and create a table for analysis. So we're going to go have company, year, period, and scale. And then our company is Apple. Year is 2016. Our period is Y. And our scale is 1 million. All right, and then we're just going to tidy this up a bit and go ahead and center it. All right, now in B6, we're going to have, it's going to equal B2. And in C6, we're going to have equals B6 minus 1. And the same in D equals. All right. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and put in some of the XBRL names over here. There's quite a few of them, so I'm going to go ahead and take y'all out of the typing for those, and we'll be right back. All right, so now we have it all typed out. So these right here are going to be our XBRL names for the information. We want to make sure that we get all of this exactly correct. If we mistype or, misinput any of this information, then our functions aren't going to work because XBRL is very specific in its wording and spelling. So it has to be exactly the same as it is in the XBRL information in order for us all these functions to work. In this equation up here, what we have is we're looking for, Apple, so B1, and we have it locked on Apple. So whenever we start copying and pasting all these into the other cells, it'll still stay on B1, so that we're always pulling Apple's information. Next we have A7, which is our our names right here, our XBRL information name, and we have it locked on row A. So as we drag it down, it'll still stay in row A, but we'll keep moving down the rows further. That way it'll keep pulling the right information to make it work. Next we have B6, which is our year, and we have it locked on row 6. So whenever we drag it over to the right, it'll move to C and D, and that way we'll be pulling the correct year information for that as well. We have it locked on B3, so that's our period. So we want to make sure that we're pulling the same period information for all of our equations. So we have it locked on exactly that. And then we're dividing by B4, which is our scale of 1,000,000. That way, this information here is going to be put in millions rather than having a ridiculously large number. If we divide it by 1,000,000, then we can see, 215,639 millions is, their revenue in 2016 for Apple. So now that we have all that, what we can easily do is just click this. You can see it brought down all our information from our XBRL. And now the simple thing that we can do is just drag this over 2 times. And see, now we're showing 2015 numbers, and we're showing 2014 numbers. And as you can see, the information is all still staying. So you see here that we're changing with the column as we move over, but we're staying in the same row. And then we can see here that we're staying in the same row here, but we're moving. We're gonna undo that. We're staying in the same column over here, but as we go down, we move with row, and we can see that the column has stayed the same. And actually, it'll be better if I just go ahead and. So now we can go over here. So even though we dragged it over a column, we're still in our A column, and we're only moving in rows as we go down. All right, and I'll go ahead and bring that out for 2014 as well. There you go. So now we have all of our information that we've been pulling from the XBRL. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to create a spark line for the information. So equals spark. And then our data is just going to be right here. Go. We can hit enter. And then we can very simply just double click here and copy it all down. And now we have our spark lines for all of these. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go and copy this over because we're going to be comparing all these again, but to revenue. So copy them over there. So here, so one moment. We want to. All right, there we go. And in order to do that, it's just under the paste special. We were going to paste values only. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have equals B7 divided by B7, but we're going to lock it on. There we are. All right. And we're going to click OK. And as you can see here, Google Sheets is already saying, hey, why don't we go ahead and autofill for this for you since we've been autofilling it over here. So we're just going to go ahead and click enter or the check mark. And now we can see it's autofilled our equation down. And we're staying here the same. Oh, and we did that by accident. There we go. And now we can see that these are all the kind of percentages based off of all of these based off our revenue. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and do what we did before over here. So C7 right here, and right away we C7 again, and then D7, yep. And so now we can just do this, copy it down, and copy this down, and there, so we can now see that all this information is the same as what we're seeing over here. All right. Okay, now that we got all of our information pasted over, and all our equations done. So we're going to go ahead and go up here, and we're just going to turn these into, where is it? Here we are. We're just going to go ahead and turn them into percentage. So there we go. So now we can see our percentages of our revenue, what these are percentages of revenues are. And then we're going to go ahead and create a sparkline again. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do it for revenue as well. And there we go. So now we can see the spark lines for our percentages. And with that, that is the end of lab 8-1. Thank you very much.